Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am here with Spellbinders again. And once again, we're going to combine a couple of the kits for the month. We are going to combine the embossing folder, not the 3D, but the regular embossing folder. And this is called Arches and Dots. And it's a really cool geometric pattern. And then Overflowing Floral is for the Glimmer kit of the month. It comes with a sentiment, hope all is well with you, and a beautiful floral image. And you can see or get an add-on that is available separately. That's a stencil, and it's a layering stencil for that image, and I will show you that. The color of foil that I'm going to be using for today's project is rose gold. Now, when you received your Glimmer, machine, yeah, that's the word I was looking for, it came with silver and rose gold. So this is one of the original colors. And I'm just setting up for my sentiment. I have all of my cardstock mats ready to go. So making sure that's centered and then placing this large, beautiful floral. When it comes to hot foiling, I do really, the tape is phenomenal anyway, but I really do like the Spellbinders yellow tape. It does not stick. Yes, it melts a little bit, but it doesn't get sticky. It comes off the cardstock easy. There's just something about it that just really works. Once I have the piece of foil cut and the tape set on the plate, I'm going to wrap that around and then cut the extra away. I am going to make sure that it's taped on 3 sides to make sure that this does not shift too much. I'm going to set that off to the side so that I can fit both plates onto my hot plate. Whenever I foil, I like to use the shim, a piece of cardstock, and the plate itself, and I get great results. There are times where I do get ghosting, and like in this case, I have a couple areas above the word hope. I just grab my white rubber eraser, and that always does the trick for me. And you can see they are no longer there. I'm going to take off the top plate, or this large plate. And you can see I have a beautiful image, and I made sure that the image went off the paper. To me, that just helps it look like it's grounded onto the piece of cardstock. I'm going to use my Brutus Monroe sticky mat so that my panel can stay in place. I don't have to worry about any tape, and I can get my stencil to stay in place as well. I'm going to be using my Simon Says Positively inks in shades of green, pink, and a little bit of peach. And I am just going to fill these in with some colors. Now, you haven't seen me do too much stenciling here. You know, getting back into that, it's a beautiful way and an economical way to get great results for your card when it comes to colors. So I move very slowly. Don't put a lot of ink down right away. You'll see as I continue through this, I get more comfortable with that and just say, hey, okay, this works. Did not use any other Post-its to protect areas. The areas were pretty far away. Now, you'll see, I do get a little bit of green in the top 2 flowers there because, again, got way too comfortable and just have fun with the color, but I'm okay with that. Our colors can mix and have some fun. You can see that there are multiple layers when it comes to the leaves and also the flowers, so you can have fun with your color choices and make them, you know, either two-toned or put a whole different color there just to have fun with it, to give it a more modern feel and technique. For the greens, I'm using a light green, a mid-tone green, and then I'll actually come in with a blue for the darkest. For the flowers, I'm coming down with a pink first, and then I'm going to come in with that peach to add just a little bit of depth. I'm sorry, I start with the peach and then add the pink for the darker areas. I do bring in a yellow for the center of my flowers, one of them nice and bright. And not filling the entire section in, kind of keep staying to the bottom to give a gradient effect. And I do that same thing on those little buds coming off the side as well, just staying on one side and fading it out to the other side. Blending brushes do make this easier and an easier process. This is our last stencil. It's a 4 stencil set, and I'm going to finish up our greens and just getting colors in there. It also takes care of the stems of the flower. Zzz. Add an S to that. I will go back to previous stencils, and that's where I'll add that darker color. Like here, I'm not removing this, but I'm just staying towards the bottom of the stencil and adding the darker green and then also a touch of the blue to have that blended in. And you can see the difference that you get. Going to work on these leaves here, doing the same thing, coming in with the darker and again staying towards the bottom. What's really nice with the Positively inks is they'll blend out. So if you should have that harsh line or you think it is, let it dry. You might be surprised how it actually looks. I already have the peach down, and here's where I'm coming in with the pink, and then I'm going to go back over that again for the 3 center flowers with that peach, just to give a little variation to the color of the flowers. And we will repeat that with our last, with the first, it's actually the first stencil. Keeping those darker colors towards the bottom. And then finishing up our leaves. And it's right about here where I put that green into those leaves. And again, it's okay. You can tell I did not even clean as I was going back to the previous stencils. It's okay. I'm good with that. Thinking I could blend that out, don't think that. Just, you know, let it go. Let it go. You know, we're not going to start over. No one's going to notice unless you point it out. So don't do that. Our card today is going to be a 5x7 card. So we have some different layers going on for our panel. I wanted to add lots of mattes to our card. So we have 3 mattes. I'm going to take the matte just underneath the panel, and I'm going to use the embossing folder. It would get a nice texture to the background I'm going to add our first layer. I know I forgot to cut out the center of the mirror cardstock, so I know people are cringing. I'm sorry. But I'm going to add my 3 layers. The first layer is cut to 5 by 7, and then I just go down in 1/4 increments. This panel here is just cut a little differently. Again, I wanted as much as that image as I could get onto my card. So it's 1/4 on from the side, and then 1/2 inch from the top. Placing that onto my 5 by 7 card base, and now we just have our layers here. I did not add as much or leave as much of a border like I do for the card when it comes to the sentiment. We're going to prop the sentiment up with some double-sided foam squares. Just playing around with the placement. For some reason my eye was going to the right, but finally decided no, let's get it to the left. And then I will add some crystal gems throughout this card, just a few. And then that is our card. Again, what is wonderful with the Spellbinder kits now is they are interactive with each other. They coordinate. So that I think is really cool. You can use one of the embossing folders with the card kit, with the stamp set, or vice versa. So that's why I love to show what they look like together. As always, the products that I use will be listed down below in the description, along with the gallery and the blog, so that you can be inspired by others. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and if you want, ring the bell so that YouTube will hopefully, fingers crossed, notify you when the next video is live. Enjoy the process. Have fun with it. Enjoy what you create today. But always make sure, every day, to be creative. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then, guys.